Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key.
To start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions.
Since it appears you're calling back into a live show, we are reconnecting you now. Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nobody take no cornbread from me.
This is it. This is it, y'all. This is it. All right, people. Oh, what a show got lined up. All right, people, what's up? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. And it is Friday. That means it is Call-In Friday. Call-In show. Now, if you're new to the show, Fridays and Tuesdays are when phone calls come in. All right? So let me put that phone number up here. That's the phone number, 319-527-6212. That's the number you dial if you want to get in queue to have your voice heard on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Yeah, pretty good, huh? Pretty dope, right? Yes, sir. Yes, Johnson's. All right. Let's go make sure that we're heard on all our platforms first before we get it going. Let's go check out YouTube first this time. What up, YouTube? How y'all doing? YouTube in the house. Well, Tim, you have to go to the YouTube thing. Go to the YouTube, Tim Black. Yeah, we're going to get there. Man. Oh, man, I know we got some phone calls lined up tonight, man. I know it. I can be wrong about some stuff, and I know I ain't wrong about this. No, it's not made for kids. Is it made for kids? Guess we'll just use this. What the heck? There we go. All right, my people on YouTube, we got my Tim Black's Wolfpack. Buck Bewley's in the house. Lady Jackie's in the house. I saw Lisa Francia. La La Cha Cha. La La Cha Cha. Brian Crosby, 64 Cadillac Coupe de Ville. Public Domain. Getting the cornbread. DMV Black Lives, ready to go. Gilberto Pura de la Rosa. Gilberto. Man, my God, man. Gilberto. What's his name, man? Politics Done Right. What's his name? Roberto. He's got a book out. Mrs. Black, Egberto, my brother. Egberto Willis, that's his name. He wants to come on the show. He's got a book. And I went through so much stuff I had to push back because I had to take a little break. So I'm going to bring him on the show. Good up for Egberto Willis. Eureka Springs, what's up? Rodney, what's up? Mary Warren, welcome back. Over 50 and fabulous. Fabulous. What up, Rodney Clark? I got Tim Black's Woodpack in the house. Jeanette, Uli, Lisa, Tony D, Neppy. Okay, we'll take it. The crinkled one. Anna. Sally Thompson's in the house. I see you out there. What up? Diana M16 is shooting off. Stylistic. Brian Smith. Whole crew. All right, now, Facebook. Can I get some Facebook love, guys? Can we get some Facebook magic? A little bit. Hope that wasn't too loud. Facebook, what's up, y'all? Facebook got Dion and Sandra and Dolores and Basil. Elizabeth and Steve Wolfenbrand and Janetta and Laviettes. We got Chris, Sandra Thompson, and Natalie's in the house. I feel ya. How about Jasmine, Rob talking about the Patriots. Medicare for all for Dion, Doreen. Curtis, what up? Curtis, is that Curtis? No, that's another Curtis. Susan, what's up, Susan? What's up, Sandra? There we go, Paula. Looking good on Facebook, guys. Suzanne, what's up, Tim Lamb? Much love to you. Jeff, what up? What up, Jeff? Dennis and Ryder and David and Joe and Danilo and Linda and Natalie and David and Fabrizia once again and Adam and Rusty and Ginger Liberty and Judy and Jeff and Kim and all my moderators, everybody helping to hold it down on Facebook and on YouTube. I just want to give you a big shout out. I appreciate you, whether you moderated now, if you used to in the past. I appreciate you being a part of trying to make this thing work. I appreciate it, guys. Welcome. We got so much to get to. Boom. Where are we at, guys? There we go. And thank you for sharing it, Glitz and Dolores and Ryder and News Make a Difference by Sean Love and Dion and Fabricia and Victor and JJ and Steve and Dolores and Sandra. Thank you for sharing the show. I really appreciate you guys for doing that. It means a lot. You help a lot when you do that. Oh, man. Can we all just take a breath, a collective breath for a moment, because wow. You know what I'm saying? Man. You know, I thought when we had the pandemic, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay. All right. I never imagined that would happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay. Hell, when 9/11 happened, I was like, okay. All right. I felt I had a Denzel Washington moment. Okay. All right. Okay. My terrorist. And I was like, because I drove every day past the Pentagon to go to work. And I just kept saying, every day I saw it. Every day. And I'm just saying, these things happen, and you're like, that wouldn't happen, man. Man, you tripping, dog. And then it happens, you're like, it questions your whole thing. So what happened a couple of days ago is all right, this guy, you know what I'm saying? They ran up in the Pentagon. Damn, the Pentagon. They ran up in the U.S. Capitol. And, yeah. I didn't see that one coming. Now, as things move and we get more information and we become more aware of what's happening, we should be able and willing to change our opinions somewhat. You know what I'm saying? That's part of being a well-formed human being. It's crazy, man. It's like, in what I do, if you're wrong, it's better just to stay wrong or don't alter your opinion because people say you're just doing it for whatever. But in anything else in life, like if you do something and you readjust or you make a modification, that's called a good thing. That's what we want people to do. We want people to correct themselves. Or like you drive, when you first start driving, you ain't too good, you want to get better. If you think this is the best way to make them spaghetti sauce, and then you find a new trick, you add that to the trick, and now you change your recipe. Because that's what smart people do. Smart people don't hold on to stuff just because it's what they used to do, or what they believed initially, or the way they saw it. If you get new information, change your opinion. That's what makes you smart. That makes you smart. Except in news. Except in this, right? Because what I do is like, in this news stuff, people want you to be one way and stay that way. I say a lot to say this, guys. Over the last 24 hours, I got a lot more information about what happened at the U.S. Capitol. And it has altered my opinions a little bit. A little. Enough for it to make a difference. Now, yes, these people that went up in the Capitol are damn fools. I don't use the term patriots to describe that. It's not a patriotic act to break into the U.S. Capitol. It's crazy. That's what it is, John. Let's be sure. It's crazy. Now, if they want to get attention and they had a list of demands and stuff they wanted to get done, then that could be wise. There are people that are in the business of they call themselves the left, who were like, see, that's what we should do. We should do what they did. They're embarrassing us right now. They're so proactive. I'm like, they don't have any demands. They just did it, Johnson. To accomplish what? Oh, yeah, accomplish something. Damn. Yeah, that should be why you do something. Man, if you're going to take a risk in life at anything, have a reason for it and have a goal. What was the goal for going in the Capitol? Now, they say all publicity is good publicity, right? And people are able to get their faces on TV. Well, if hey, look, if that's your goal, to be seen, you could take your clothes off and run down the street. Somebody eventually gonna come lock your ass up, and you may make the news. You don't need to run up in the Capitol. Just saying. There's other ways to make the news that don't involve federal time. Right? Right? Am I right? So what I'm saying, guys, is like this U.S. Capitol thing, I mean, we got people just mouthing off saying any old thing. Why don't you just go over on the Trump team, dog? Just do it. I know that's what you want. You try to imitate him. They're trying to imitate Trump. They think Trump is wicked smart. They think Trump, it's working, so obviously, yeah, you're not Trump, dog. My point is this, guys. There's a lot of reasons why what happened at the U.S. Capitol happened. One of them is that Donald Trump was at a rally before it, right down the street or nearby, and was like, go to the Capitol. Fight. Now, he didn't say go run into the Capitol, but he told a bunch of people pumped up off of don't steal the vote, stop the steal, in D.C. at the time for a rally, all the whatever that is going on, the energy, the adrenaline, and they're going to the Capitol. And they're going to do something. Now, it would not take a rocket scientist to figure out that something going to go down. What, they're going to go to the Capitol and just hold hands and sing hymns? No, that's Bernie supporters. That's what Bernie supporters do. I've been at Bernie rallies, man. Most peace-loving people in the world, man. But I have a low tolerance for marijuana, so, you know what I'm saying? I start getting paranoid. Who that? Anyway, the point is this, guys. Look, check this out. These people went to the U.S. Capitol and they had They wanted to fight for their president. They want to fight for their rights. It's a lot of things were said about why they were doing it. But I want to present you with some things, some facts that was printed in the Washington Post about why it was able to happen, because that's what I was speculating about on various platforms. And I'm like, look, I've lived in the D.C. area my entire life. I've never lived in another area. I've worked in the D.C. area and in Washington, D.C., downtown, uptown, and all around, as long as I've been in my professional career. And the Capitol Police don't play. And you can get your ass shot here very easily by Capitol Police, just by accidentally going into the wrong space. And we got thousands and thousands of people that showed up. And we'll get to casualties later, but the repercussions of said showing up in the wrong place was a lot different than it's been for a lot of other people. So I look at it and I say, guys, this was not an accident. Those people got in the Capitol, it was not an accident. They had help. You just can't do that alone. That's been my consensus. Now, I don't know if I changed that totally, but I do have a couple things to add to it. Now, check this out. Booyah. Here goes the article in the Washington Post that I've been checking out. It's called Pentagon Places Limits on the D.C. National Guard ahead of pro-Trump protests due to a narrow mission. A narrow mission. So I'm like, what the hell are they talking about a narrow mission? Right? That don't make sense. Well, it turns out the Pentagon limited the D.C. National Guard ahead of the pro-Trump protests this week. Because, see, that's the thing, guys, that's been killing us, right? We're like, hold on now. You knew they were going to have protests. You knew they didn't think the vote was fair or just. A lot of them, right? Why weren't you prepared for it? Why didn't you have reinforcements? Hey, guys, I don't know if you noticed that, but you just can't show up and not have permits. People didn't just show up and had nowhere to stay and slept on the street. People had hotels. People booked flights. People had all types of accommodations, places to eat. Everything was laid out. This is not, you don't just come to D.C. and be like, hey, honey, I'm home. You be right outside, just, hey, honey, I'm home. And then the cops will be like, hey, honey, I'm home. Then you be in the jail cell like, hey, honey, I'm home. Because we don't care about you here. Actually, that happens probably anywhere in the country you go without an invitation. So, back to this. The Pentagon placed limits on D.C. National Guard ahead of the pro-Trump protests this week, trying to ensure the use of military force remained constrained as the Guard carried out a narrow, unarmed mission requested by the city's mayor to help handle traffic ahead of planned protests. So, they sent the Guard to do other things, to help out in other ways without the use of firearms. Memos issued Monday and Tuesday in response to requests from the D.C. Mayor Bowser. The Pentagon prohibited the district's guardsmen from receiving ammunition or riot gear, interacting with protesters unless necessary for self-defense, sharing equipment with local law enforcement, or using guard surveillance and air assets without the defense secretary's explicit sign-off. That's the point, guys. The defense secretary's explicit sound-off or sign-off. The limits were established because the Guard hadn't been asked to assist with crowd or riot control. The Guard was also told it would be allowed to deploy a quick reaction force only as a measure of last resort. So now, this is what the article goes on. The article goes on to show you, to tell us, it was the Pentagon. You can't just, it takes hours to move logistics. And the approval had to be given by the Pentagon to unleash the Kraken. And the way they planned it, they said they had no idea. They had no idea, Johnson, that so many people were going to show up and then try to storm the Capitol. Which I find still very hard to believe, considering the fact people were talking about this online, guys. The discussions were happening in plain view on social media sites across the web. Okay, so the defense official says that okay, here we go. The Army official said they were speaking on behalf of the Secretary of the Army, who was de facto commanding the D.C. Guard but was not on the call, said the optics of soldiers inside the Capitol building was not something they wanted. So they could have, people say, why didn't you release soldiers? Why, we have the people. Well, they said it would look bad. Now, it doesn't look bad when it's BLM outside and people are pissed off about racial injustice. But it looks bad when a bunch of Trump supporters get soldiers sicked on them. Yeah, it's not bad for riot gear cops with guns to show up in D.C. when it's people protesting the murder of George Floyd. But it looks bad if it's Becky and Dylan trying to get in the U.S. Capitol. But they said they had no idea they were going to try to get in the Capitol. See what I'm saying? Still, it's America. It's America. McCarthy, what is he? I think it's position with the National Guard. McCarthy's his name. He says, officials didn't in their wildest imaginations envision rioters breaching Capitol grounds. Not in their wildest imaginations could they imagine Trump supporters and whatever these oath keepers or whatever they are saying, hey, let's go in that building. Let's tell them a thing or two. Nah, not their wildest imaginations. And when you hear the term wildest imaginations, I got a lot of thoughts, man. Like, hold on a second. The U.S. Capitol has a lot of guards on it because it is in our wildest imagination. Right? Like when you make a bad turn in D.C. and you end up almost getting your head blown off by Capitol Police because they don't know who you are. The reason why they do that is because it is in their wildest imagination. Hey, it ain't a wild imagination. It's a very tame imagination. It's right front center. They plan logistically for what if somebody tries to run up in the Capitol. So this is BS. Not in their wildest imagination is like E.T. coming to America, landing on the White House lawn. Literally, E.T., the little guy, take me home. Home, that guy. Or, I don't know, Bart Simpson being a real person. Or zombies, literally careening over the landscape at the Pentagon, coming over the hill on the National Mall or something, going through the fountain. Okay? Those are things that wouldn't be on your radar in your wildest imagination. But people who are pissed off at a rally down the block deciding to go up in the Capitol to send a message, that should be something that you are planning for. The potential. Because you know there's a rally, you know there are a lot of people down there, and you know it's an election year. See, the Washington Post is full of shit. Their explanation is full of shit. Because, see, I know a few things. Like, they're counting on us not knowing that a lot of things happen during election seasons. Crime spikes. Hate crime spikes. This is every election there's ever been. Okay? There are things that happen historically in the country whenever there's an election. Doesn't matter which side wins. Somebody's always upset. So to say that you're not aware of this, how does Tim Black know this? And our Pentagon not know it? The National Guard not know it? Mayor Mario Bowser not know it? Seems really fishy to me, right? Just a couple more things. Virginia Governor Ralph Northam, he sent the troops, but Nancy Pelosi had to call him first and ask for them. Same thing with Governor Hogan, Larry Hogan here in Maryland. He sent his troops. I was actually on the phone with Leader Hoyer when Steny Hoyer, who was pleading with us to send the National Guard. Larry Hogan, governor of Maryland, said. He was yelling across the room to Schumer, and they were back and forth saying, we do have the authorization. And I'm telling you, we do not have the authorization. 90 minutes later, Hogan said he received a call out of the blue, not from the Secretary of Defense, not through what would have been normal channels, but from McCarthy, who asked if the Maryland Guardsmen could come as soon as possible. The Pentagon. That's where McCarthy works. The Pentagon. Kevin McCarthy. So that's what the delay, according to the official record. That's why they were allowed to ride roughshod over the Capitol. Had a bunch of Capitol Police who wanted help, but could not get the help. We have a mayor who underestimated just how many Trump supporters would come to the Capitol. And I guess we're not paying attention to Donald Trump talking about this for the last 2 months. I guess no one paid attention when he said, stand back, stand by. I guess independent media paid more attention to Donald Trump and what's going on online than the FBI, the CIA, National Security Advisors, the Pentagon. And if you believe that unpaid people on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook have more access to intelligence to know what's brewing underneath the surface than our own security personnel, security advisors. I got some swampland. Man, I got 1,000 miles of it, baby. It's going for $1 a mile. So I don't believe it, Johnson. I do believe there's a certain level of incompetence that we could blame this on. But their official story don't make sense to me. I don't know about you. It doesn't ring true. Now, don't get me wrong. What happened was still wrong. Don't misunderstand. I'm not saying, some people are saying the poor Trump supporters are just pawns in Joe Biden's game. I wouldn't go that far, Johnson. No, that's too far. I have clips of Trump supporters saying, hey, I'm going to go down there and give them the hear what. They're right there, Fred. We're going to let them know who runs the government, that they work for us, and they can't get away with this, so we're going to take some action on them. We're going to do this. We're going to get them. They're going to be priced to pay. They weren't joking. Okay. So, yeah, unfortunately, it's only going to get. I'm not going to say it's going to get worse. I can't imagine what worse is, but it ain't over. No, it's not over. But know this, guys. All across the country, people have different opinions, and not everywhere are people upset. Now, some people are right now cheering for what these people did. They consider these people heroes. See, we are in what's called silos or pits, echo chambers. Yeah, different parts of the country, different groups of people believe different things. They see this a whole different way. For instance, here goes Tucker Carlson talking about, should we go to Tucker Carlson? Let's do it. Since we're talking specifically about the U.S. Capitol raid, the riot, the raid, the siege, some people call it a coup. I can't call it a coup because I agree with Irami Osin Frimpong, who said, well, for it to be a coup, you got to want to put another government in place. I don't think they were trying to overthrow the government. You know, that's crazy. By who? With who? I don't even know if they had an actual intention. Other than I know I saw a guy with some zip ties. I saw one guy with zip ties. And there may have been some chatter with certain groups having certain plans. But I'm talking about overall. Overall, I don't think all these people that went to the rally, I think different people in the rally may have had different intentions. Like any other group of people, big group of people that aren't all together. I mean, everyone didn't get together and say, let's go, guys. And they all went. There are people from different states all across the country who showed up in D.C. to attend this rally, this last rally with Donald Trump. And then they walked down to the Capitol. Now, some groups may have intended one thing, other groups may have intended another thing. And that's the thing. People want it to be just one way. They want it to be everybody's a saint or everybody is a terrorist, and there's no in between. And I'm telling you, that's not how things work. I just don't think that's how it is. So, and I know it would be great to say it did. It was. That's where the views are. That's where the money is. Pick a side, ride out. And then you'll be this side, they'll be that side. And then the people that likes this side will be on your side. People that like that side will be on that side. And yay, money. But this shit's a lie. It's a lie, Johnson. There's hardly ever a situation when we got saints and devils. Hardly. There's sometimes, but not a situation like this. Not when it involves all of these people. Okay. Now let's get to the part about the casualties, because I've been hearing some stuff. Different stories about what happened, what the fallout was from the let's call it a siege. No, let's not call it a siege. Let's call it an action, okay? Okay, so here we go. 5 people died during a riot. That's what they called it here at KTLA.com. What we know about the 5 people who died during the riot at the U.S. Capitol. Now, we know there was an officer. His name was Brian Sicknick, 42. He was injured while physically engaging with protesters. Now, according to this, he was sitting here with a fire extinguisher. His family doesn't want this to become a political issue. And they want us to respect their privacy. Ashley Babbitt has become the second most talked about casualty or victim or deceased person, depending on how you look at this. And this is the one that's really, let's come back to Ashley because we got to do a segment on that, okay? Kevin Greason from Athens, Alabama. He was 55, he had a heart attack. Some people are saying I think Mr. Greason tased himself in the family jewels and then had a heart attack. But I have no evidence of that happening, okay? People crazy, like these are the stories coming out. This person had a heart attack. That's all it says. Okay? His family, of course, is devastated. He had a history of high blood pressure. He was 55. Benjamin Phillips was 50 from Schuylkill County, Pennsylvania, died of a stroke. He was a computer programmer. He had a website for Trump supporters. And his website helped coordinate rides for people to head to Washington for the events. So he ran a website to facilitate the event. He had a stroke. He was only 50. Roseanne Boylan, 34, died due to a medical emergency. They don't tell you what really happened. They said she collapsed Wednesday evening. They have no information other than she was the aunt to 2 girls who adored her. Now, guys, let's get back to Ashley Babbitt. Because Ashley Babbitt's been really the talk of the town. She's a young lady, and I understand why. There's an actual clip out there floating on the internet of her being shot in the Capitol building. So if you've seen the clip where a young white woman is shot, that's Ashley Babbitt. Okay? Now here goes Tucker Carlson talking about it on Fox News. I'm going to let you listen to Tucker, then I'm going to give you some facts. Okay?
All day you've been bombarded with images of what has taken place in Washington. Too little time has been spent thinking about why. Anyone who's trying to understand the significance of what's going on right now ought to watch the video of the woman who was shot inside the U.S. Capitol. You've been bombarded with images of what has taken place in Washington. Too little time has been spent thinking about why. Anyone who's trying to understand the significance of what's going on right now ought to watch the video of the woman who was shot inside the U.S. Capitol this afternoon. In the footage, which we're not going to show you because it's too upsetting, but you can find it on the internet, the woman is standing in a hallway right off the House floor at the center of the Capitol building. She appears to be in her 20s. She's got an American flag tied around her neck. The scene around her is chaotic. People are bumping into each other, yelling, trying to get through the door into the Senate chamber. Suddenly, with no warning, there is gunfire. You hear a shot, and the woman falls. She's been hit with a bullet. Seems like the neck could be the chest. Apparently it was fired by someone in law enforcement. People in the hallway scream. The camera closes in on the woman's face. She looks stunned. She is staring straight ahead, unblinking. In her eyes, you can see that she knows she's about to die, which in the end she did. The woman died a couple of hours ago at a local hospital.
Okay. Tucker Carlson's full of shit. Now look, don't get me wrong, guys. We don't wish for people's death here. It's not what we do. It's not what I do, okay? I don't wish for people's demise unless they're in the process of taking other people's lives, then, well, you got to go, Johnson. We keep it real, okay? And we've had this conversation before, but for new people here, I don't go around going, I wish this person would die. That's not what I do. It's not who I am. I'm going to be authentic to myself. That being said, Tucker Carlson just painted a picture of an angel. An angel, a God's gift, an angel that came down and walked amongst us. No offense to the dead and no offense to her people or family or friends. But let me correct the record, Tucker. You mother Tucker. Ashley Babbitt was no 20-year-old spry young thing. She was 35 years old. That's a grown-ass woman, Johnson. Making grown-ass women choices. She was also a veteran. Yes, right, militarily trained veteran. Came here of her own volition. She was also a part of a group that broke into the U.S. Capitol. She was also in the hallway, that's true, climbing through a window where a person with a gun stood saying, don't go through the window, get back. Ashley Babbitt, for God rest her soul, decided she's going to be first through the window. I believe they would have shot whoever came through that window first. I mean, you took over most of the Capitol. People walked around, took pictures, grabbed stuff, made themselves at home, took things, broke things. But there was just so far through the innards of the Capitol where the Capitol Police had backed up and 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 backed up, Johnson, and then held fort. And Ashley Babbitt was with a group of people that decided we're going to go as far as we want to go in a place we should not be at. Now, she was shot. Should she have been shot? Hey, I'm not here to judge that. I'm not here to judge it. I'll just say, I wish she hadn't been shot. I wish those officers who ended up coming from the rear would have got there before the guy shot her. I did not see a weapon. I don't condone. I would rather you not shoot unarmed people. That's something I say all the time, Carlson. For some reason, I don't hear you often join me in that sentiment, about not shoot people who are unarmed. I wish they wouldn't have shot her, but don't paint her like somebody who just happened to be strolling along. Don't paint her as if she's Breonna Taylor, who had just came from a night out with her boyfriend in the comfy confines of her own home, who's awakened by a knock on the door, by people outside the door who want to announce who they are, who bust through the door and then send shots through the home as they try to defend themselves. Now, let's not paint her as that. Let's not paint her as Tamir Rice with a toy gun at a park. I don't remember Tucker Carlson having such dripping wet, sad reprieve for the murder of Tamir Rice, a 12-year-old shot at a park with a toy gun. Or John Crawford shot at a Walmart for holding a gun that was sold at the Walmart. No, I don't remember Tucker Carlson being all beside himself and calling on the emotions, playing on the emotions of Fox viewers sympathetically about the deceased John Crawford, who through no fault of his own was shot in a Walmart, given only a couple of seconds to even understand what's going on. Drop what? Who are you talking to? Pow! Babbitt had a lot more control over her life or death than any of those people I just named. So, my condolences. That being said, because I'm not Tucker Carlson, I'm not a dickhead, my condolences to the families of Brian Sicknick, Ashley Babbitt, Kevin Greason, Benjamin Phillips, and Roseanne Boylan. Our deepest condolences. No, I'm not going to say that. I know what some of y'all think. I'm not doing it. Now, we're about to go to phone calls. So one last thing, guys. One last thing that must be said here. I've seen some people too giddy about Joe Biden being president. And I hate to be a killjoy, but I'm about to kill your damn joy. Oh, man, Joe Biden, he put some black people in jobs. Oh, Joe Biden. Yes. He gave some black people jobs. Diversity isn't everything. In fact, I can tell you times when diversity is just damn wrong. It's unhelpful. This is a very cunning way to screw your ass over. Using somebody that look like you when you're dumb enough to think that means skin folk is kinfolk. Because somebody went to the same school you went to or hung out in the same areas. Hell, it's because somebody likes pizza and you like pizza. All of a sudden, you think commonality means similarity of thought, allegiance. No, it doesn't. Same thing holds true with appointments by Joe Biden. Listen, guys. Claiming that Joe Biden has appointments, that his appointments, the way no other president before has, that this cabinet will be the most representative of any cabinet in American history. A cabinet of barrier breakers. A barrier breakers for what? Hey, I'm less concerned with first as I'm concerned about righteous. I'm less concerned about making the first black or Latino or gay or trans or Latino or indigenous people or Asian or first left-handed baseball, whatever whatever, in anything, then I am concerned about having the best public servant who's going to actually serve the public, not donors. That should be what we want. But I want to play a clip of Dr. Cornel West talking about this issue. And he says it better than I can, which is typical because it's Dr. Cornel West. Check it out.
Appreciate that. So I want to talk to you about Biden's appointments and his agenda. But before I get to that, can I just double check? This year, you didn't go third party, did you? You voted for Joe Biden for the Democrat for president.
Part of an anti-fascist coalition, a coalition that said we've got to get Brother Trump out. He's a neo-fascist gangster. He calls into question the very possibilities of any kind of democratic politics. Looks like that coalition did come together. He's on the way out, we hope. And now we've got to deal with the neoliberal disaster of Biden and Harris. And we've got to be very honest about it. I think they're going to be much better in terms of stability. But the rot is still there. Remember that wonderful line in Shakespeare's Hamlet? Something is rotten in the state of Denmark. Something is rotten in the United States. The greed and the corruption. And I think Biden and Harris can redirect the rot, maybe slow down the rot, but the greed will still be there. The big money will still be there. The benefactors, the donors will still be there. The mass incarceration system will still be in place. The Pentagon militarism will still be expanded. We've already seen that now in the Middle East, AFRICOM and Africa and so forth. So we got to just tell the truth. We've got to be committed, brother. And you know, as a journalist, to the truth. And the condition of truth is to allow suffering to speak.
Yeah.
We got to be committed to justice. So it's not a matter of identity. You got an all-women group. Yeah. Women can lie just like men. Black people can lie just like white people, like brown people, and indigenous people. So, it's integrity. It's
I want to come back to that.
It's solidarity. That's what we're concerned about.
I'm going to.
And the whole point that Cornel West was making there that was very obvious, I think, it seemed like many wanted to focus on, but did you, one person that you are, Cornel West, did you vote for Biden? Oh, and did you vote for Hillary? Like, dude, who gives a shit what one person did, man? What difference does it make? So look, yes. You know, you talk about Buttigieg being a trailblazer, openly gay elected official. What's it, a diplomat or something? I was going to, transportation, I don't know, something like that, right? He took the train once, so he's qualified. Of course, we got Kamala Harris, Vice President. Alejandro Mayorkas, Homeland Security, who I've heard horrible things about. Of course, we already talked about Kamala, horrible things. We already talked about Buttigieg, horrible mayor, horrible. Okay? Lloyd Austin, I don't know about that. I don't know anything about it. Avril Haines, Director of National Intelligence, first woman to take the reins. Back when Dianne Feinstein was being spied on because of back in the, they were doing their own spying on our own elected officials. Avril Haines was back then violating our rights, riding roughshod over the Constitution. Oh yes, but clap because she's a woman now, and well, she's gonna get the big job. So, and then of course, you know, Joe Biden's all-female or all-women communications team somehow clears it up. So does that mean when you are miscommunicating or you're communicating lies and playing defense and doing your deflecting, that we can't call it out because now it's going to be the same old stuff they do, like when they use April Ryan to pretend she's so hurt. How dare you? How dare you question me? How dare you push back on my bullshit? Is that what's going to happen? That's what I think is going to happen. See, I think that these appointments by Joe Biden, I'm not saying it's not good to have different colors of faces in different places. But what I'm saying is I don't think they're being done to help people. I think it's being done to help Joe Biden and his administration get away with not helping people. The best way to diffuse dissent is to put some people on your team who can act as goalkeepers or who can play blocker. You know what I mean? It can be buffers. That's how I feel this is. And you know, I gotta say now, look guys, I want Marcia Fudge, I want Nina Turner to run and to win in Ohio. And I don't know if that hinges on Marcia Fudge getting her appointment to the Biden administration, but I think it does have something to do with it, or at least that makes it easier. But it's got to be a slap in the face for Joe Biden to offer Marcia Fudge, or be looking at Marcia Fudge, for a position besides the agriculture position when that's where she has all of her expertise. You understand what I'm saying? Marcia Fudge is being looked at for the agriculture position, right? Appointment, right? Secretary of Agriculture. That's what they should be looking at her for, because that's where all her expertise lies. But because America's so racist and Biden is so racist, instead of looking at her for that position, he wants to put her in Ben Carson's position at HUD, Urban Housing and Development. Housing and Urban Development. See what I mean? Hey guys, look, it's not that I
appreciate that. So I want to talk to you about Biden.
It's not just that I got a problem with it. Here we go. In this political article, Marcia Fudge had a problem with it. This was back in October. She said, Fudge lamented that in her view, black politicians tend to be relegated to a limited number of cabinet positions. As this country becomes more and more diverse, we're going to have to stop looking at only certain agencies and those that people like me fit in. You know, as always, we want to put the black person in labor or HUD. Exactly, Johnson. Whatever could she mean? Except the fact she's spot on is exactly what they're talking about doing. Look, to all the people that are going to say Tim's a coon, he's a sellout, he don't want to help black people. I don't want to help black people with bad intentions run defense for Joe Biden, who wants to hurt black people. It's the other way. Oh, Tim Black doesn't like gay, lesbian, and LGBTQIA people. No, that's not it. Tim Black doesn't like sellout gay LGBTQIA people who are being used as buffers for Joe Biden to hurt all of us. Same thing goes with Latinos, Asians, any other group of people. Seems to me that they use our diversity against us because they know it's a spot in which we look to level the playing field. And that's reasonable that we want to level the playing field. We want access, we want representation. But at some point, if we're not careful, people are no longer whatever they are when they go into Washington. They soon become a different race, religion, gender, orientation altogether. I call it politicians. All right, guys, that's it. That's all I got. Hope you stay here for the show tonight. Now, I want you to know the sponsor of tonight's show is Cool Streams TV. That's right, guys, Cool Streams TV. Now, Cool Streams TV is a company that will help you cut the cord. Now, I know a lot of people watching this show have already cut their cord a long time ago. With Cool Streams TV, you can get all your favorite channels for a reasonable price. That includes sports channels, premium channels, 24-hour customer service. You can install it on a variety of devices, laptops, desktops, tablets, computers. Use the Tim Black coupon code to get a discount. That's Tim Black. Tim Black. That's what you use to get a coupon discount on your purchase. Waive your installation fee. And the people at CoolStreams.tv, CoolStreamsTV.com will take care of you. And here goes that commercial. And after this, we'll be right back for this show, Johnson. Wolfpack.
Cool Streams TV, the best streaming service in the world. With over 2,000 channels. Watch it anywhere on your Android or iPhone. Watch it on your tablet or any Fire device. Premium channels, network channels, pay-per-view sports. Direct access to 24/7 customer service. Go to CoolStreamsTV.com and purchase your subscription. Cool Streams TV. We are the best in the business.
Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't be fooled by corporate media talking heads misleading the people. Get your news and information from an entity that keeps it real. Tim Black. Tim Black is the host of The Tim Black Show. Independent news that leaves you informed, inspired, and sometimes entertained, but always in the know. Go to TimBlackTV.com and sign up today. The Tim Black Show is news for people who can't stand the news. See you there.
All right, that was quick. That was quick. Let's get back to it, guys. Welcome back to the show. This is the phone call segment of the show. All right, 319-527-6212 is the number you dial into to get access to it, to speak your truth to power. Feels weird hearing myself. Truth to power. Okay, guys. I'm going to start with the first call in the queue. It's a 917 number. 1 second, 917. Let me get this lined up. I'll just have my assistant get my grid set up here so I can know what calls to go to next. I'd be tripping, man. 917. All right, 917, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Yo, Tim Black. It's your boy KJ from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn.
What up, KJ? What's on your mind, my brother? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. First of all, let me clarify something. The last time I called in and I was unaware that your dad had passed away, and I was talking about health care. And I think you took what I said the wrong way. I wasn't making a joke about health care for people, because I made the comment actually that as a 54-year-old guy who's independently, I own my own business, I don't have health care. And I was saying, well, you just got to stay healthy. And I meant that. I didn't mean it in the way that I think that you took it, because I was being sarcastic, because it's my situation as well. And I've always been completely for health care for all, just so you know that.
All right, brother. Look, I appreciate it, man, but no hard feelings, man. I actually hadn't thought about it. But thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Okay. So now let me devil's advocate. So for everybody out there who doesn't know me, yes, I did vote for Trump. I am a Trump supporter from New York City, but I'm also kind of, upper echelon Trump guy. I've never been to a Trump rally. I don't fall into that category of these QAnon crazy retard nut jobs. Any group of people is going to have the lowest common denominator of morons within it. Doesn't matter what it is, what political party, what sports team you follow. There's always those total dumb idiots who ruin it for everyone else. And basically my take on what happened is there were a bunch of idiots. Obviously, there were Trump supporters. There's also, some mixed in Antifa guys that are known to agitate and other people riled up and going. Because the way I see it is, why would any Trump supporter in their right mind want those hearings to get disturbed? That was like our last leg to even get heard on the whole electoral vote, situation. So the last thing any person like myself or any other person that I know that actually cared about that we would not want that disturbed. To me, it was a perfect opportunity. That's why they stood down. That's why they didn't choose to have the National Guard there. Everyone knew about this event. I know people in New York that were going to the event that talked about this event 2 weeks ago. Okay. I even wrote on Facebook the night before, I have a feeling something really bad is going to go down tomorrow. Okay. There was a call that was supposedly, it was on CBS the night before. And I don't know if you heard this, but supposedly there was a recording that went over the airline frequency for all the pilots. They were saying that somebody was going to fly a plane into the Capitol building, and they thought it might be Soleimani, revenge for killing Soleimani. This was reported on CBS News. And it was just odd. I thought that was weird why that would happen. And so if you get afraid about a plane being flown into the Capitol building, don't you think they might have wanted to jump up the security just on that level? Forget the 100,000 people that were coming to a Trump rally and all the other assorted nuts that would get mixed in there. So, it just looked like to me, at a point, the police, yes, they were overwhelmed, but it almost looked like to me, they said, you know what, let's just let these nut jobs in and do whatever they want. And to me, it was a coordinated, orchestrated event by these people that are way up in the upper echelons of power. And this goes beyond Republican, Democrat to me. They wanted this to happen. It shut down the hearings. It shut down the last gasp attempt for the positions to be heard. And, to me, it's kind of a no-brainer. I mean, they were idiots. Everybody knows they were idiots. Anybody who stormed, the Capitol, you're an idiot. And I know because I've been down to D.C., you can't go anywhere near the Capitol without, like you said, being pushed away. Hey, what are you doing? I mean, I've never seen police fold. I mean, they looked like the French in World War II. I mean, it was embarrassing. They literally just walked. I mean, I've never seen that. And I'm here in New York City. I went through everything that happened with the riots and everything that occurred. And I saw how heavy-handed the police were and how, and like you're so spot on, brother. And that's why I just want you to know, as somebody, like I said, who is a Trump supporter, I voted for the guy, but I have different reasons for that. I'm not some lunatic who's running around, screaming and yelling, carrying on like a fool, because those are the people that they're hoping would show up. If ever let this happen, I can't say whether it's Democrat. I think the Republicans might have been in cahoots as well. The ones that never were really behind Trump, and they were looking for an excuse to throw him under the bus quick as they could to get through those hearings without even dealing with it. And you know what? It worked, because the electoral vote hearings is a wash. It's over. It's done. And that's it. And now the Dems have a perfect thing to play on. The last thing I just wanted to say, I find it the height of hypocrisy and irony that 300 so-called Trump supporters storm the Capitol, and they're terrorists and it's an insurrection. But for 3 months, hundreds of white Antifa members took over Seattle, stormed the federal buildings, took over a police department and a town, and they were called mostly peaceful protesters. I'll leave it at that, Tim. I appreciate you taking my call. I love you, brother. Listen, everybody out there, wake up. The bigger powers are at work, and they want to keep us all at each other's throats. Race baiting is the easiest way to do it amongst the blacks, browns, and whites. But at the end of the day, this is money. It's a power struggle for control. They're censoring the hell out of everything right now. They're starting with the Trumps and the Republican people, and you're next. It's a slippery slope. So stay tuned. It get worse, Tim. Trust me, before it gets better. And I love you. I appreciate you taking my call. Have a great night, brother.
All right, man. You too, man. Thank you for calling in, man. That's KJ in the house, man. That's yeah. But the censorship, man. Yes, I totally agree with that. That's who knows what's going to happen, man. Every day I go, you know what? You never know. You never know. You never know. You never know. I never know what's going to happen. This will be it. Will my ride be over? Brothers always work at the post office. Let me talk like, let me say whatever I want to say. I don't know how much longer they're going to let me do that. All right. Let's go to the next call. We got 313. 313, you're live. Freedom Friday.
Hey, Tim. This is Anthony in Detroit. Good evening. Yeah, that was the craziest thing I've really ever seen on live TV. I'll be honest. But it was like, it was, you saw a variety of things. There's the one video of the cops like it's seemingly letting them in, and there's another video of them definitely trampling over the gate. It was like, it was all over the place. There was the whole range of emotions, and it was a horrible event. I hate it. I don't condone anything they did, but there's some parts I just had to laugh at, because if you don't laugh, you'll go crazy. And like I saw a video today of this old lady trying to scale the wall, and she falls down, and it's to the song "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor." It's crazy. And then I saw another picture of the lady standing in the rotunda of the Capitol, and I sent it to my mom. It looked exactly like her, and she said, "Wow, that looks like me." I said, "I didn't know you were at the Capitol that day." I mean, so I just had to find these weird things, because obviously it's such a terrible event. But I mean, more than anything, it looks like a bunch of logistical failures. Like you said, everyone knew it was going to happen. Everyone knows they're going to show up on inauguration day. Like they didn't, at a certain point, I don't know, they didn't have enough bullets in their guns, the cops, or what, but there's a lot of logistical failures. All right, Tim, have a good one. You
too, brother. I appreciate it, man. And I'm glad they didn't have, but I'm glad they didn't start shooting, man, because that'd have been like Kent State on steroids, man. They'd have been shooting crabs in the barrel, man. Or fish in the barrel, right? Fish. So I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to repeat other people's sayings, but I gotta say it, guys. Like, I don't. It's not that I want white people to get shot at these things. I just want us to stop being shot. You know what I'm saying? Stop shooting us. Stop shooting any of us, man. You get what I'm saying? Let's stop shooting us. I'm not like, go shoot these people. No, we just point out the disparities, the differences, but I mean, look, you couldn't even stand at Standing Rock, understand, without them water cannoning you. Like, just for standing there. So, hey, I'm going to go to the next call, guys. I appreciate y'all. 562. You're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Yo, what's up, Tim Black? It's your boy Marv, man, from Cali. How you doing?
I'm good. What's up, Marv? What's on your mind, brother?
Hey, man. I'm gonna try to be short, man. I wanna hit on homegirl, man, because I'm an Air Force vet. I served 10 years, 85 to 96, and I took the same oath of affirmation to, uphold the Constitution as she did. You know what I'm saying? So I think as well, I can kind of understand English a little bit, and it's like I don't see how my definition or how I came to my conclusion of what I find was it ends up different how she signed. This lady, I'm sorry for the loss of life, and it was unnecessary. But yo, bro, to hype up the fact that she was a veteran, yo, man, I'm a brother who is the son of a veteran as well from the Navy. And then all the countless stories of Black veterans of many wars across these wars this country has fought, who have been treated ill. Now, let me include too that any veteran that has been wronged by this country, that's wrong. But yo, I'm black, man, and so I see my people how they fought for a country where to only come back and be called nigga, be water hose and dog sick on them and shit. Yo, I've been called nigga in active duty on uniform, in uniform. It's like, yo, so I don't have no sympathy for her. I'm sorry that life was taken, that it should not have been taken, but that is on her. Yo, I'm just one brother who served in the Air Force. There's brothers who served in the Marines, in the Navy, in the Air, all branches of service, and other minorities as well who've been treated all kind of hell. You know what I mean? Denied benefits and shit. And yo, she gets to interpret Trump's fucking lies as some shit stolen that means that she can just storm the Capitol building. Yo, there's consequences, and consequences is consequences, bruh. Consequences for consequences, bruh.
Yep.
Because when, from my viewpoint, when I see a cat who got his hands up and it's like, officer, what's wrong? Bam, bam, bam. You know what I'm saying? There's always quick to justify, oh, what did he do? Man, fuck that. I'm sorry for the cursing, bro. But it's just like, yo, nah, it's long been two countries, separate and unequal. And it's long been that. Yo, peace.
All right, Marvin, thanks for the phone call, man. I get what you're saying, brother. I had a conversation with Isaiah James, a veteran who ran for Congress in the 9th District in New York up there in Brooklyn. And he was telling me about how he was treated and the different types of racism he saw when he was in Afghanistan and what he had to deal with. And I get your point, A lot of people have been through a lot of things being a veteran or being in service, and that does not disqualify you or shield you from doing wrong shit. So, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't negate, you being a veteran does not negate something that you do, considering, especially when it comes to breaking into a federal building. I mean, come on, man. So, I mean, it's not like she was just outside marching and they shot into the crowd. But still, that being as it may, I do not like siding with cops shooting civilians, particularly unarmed civilians. So I must hold the line, similar to the way I hold the line about the death penalty. I don't support the death penalty because I know how it's meted out. You ain't gonna never see a rich person on death row. So, so there's certain things I have. There's certain convictions that I have, and one of them is you shoot an unarmed person. You have any other recourse, that's what you should have done. Period. And that way, I keep myself honest, and I serve as an example on that point. But I'm going to go to the next call, though. 626, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
What's up, Tim? It's Chris from LA.
What's up, Chris? What's on your mind, my brother?
Me, right? Yeah. What's up, brother? Hey, man, I just wanted to talk about, I came in the stream halfway through, and I wasn't sure if you covered Tulsi Gabbard talking about it, but, she went on Dave Rubin's show and Tucker Carlson to defend, to kind of, virtue signal this, and the sad part is she went on Dave Rubin's show talking about echo chambers causing this while being on a huge contributor to the very echo chamber that caused this whole mess. And it pisses me off because Movement for a People's Party and Jimmy Dore are they're trying, and they're getting with Nico House, and they're all trying to just group up and attack these progressives in Congress. They're only allies in Congress, and they're just they don't hold their Tulsi Gabbard accountable for anything that she's done in the past few months. specifically like her transphobic bill, you know, her voting against the stimulus, and now this. Like, come on, how that should just be a clear red flag that these type of people are just left wing reactionary, and it's just I really don't like that people are getting behind them and riling up against the squad, because that is the most foolish, backwards thing I just could ever think of for the progressive movement as a whole, especially for people who want Medicare for all passed. Like, you can't get mad at the only people who are willing to pass it and then try and ruin their lives and make it harder for them to pass it. Like, that just makes and I just want Jimmy Dore to hold Tulsi Gabbard accountable for literally like any of these things, because these are very atrocious things, and just kind of I don't know, man. Like, it sounds weird because I feel like I'm using the Bernie bro argument, but I mean, Twitter, man, it's just I don't like to use Twitter, so I'm gonna stop using Twitter. But that's where most of the stuff stems, and that's pretty much all I had to say, bro. I love you. Finish the show. Strong, man. Godspeed.
Hey, Chris, thanks for the phone call, man. And I got nothing else to say about that issue, man. And I'll let you guys have at it on that. I said all I could say, man. And let people come and go and do their thing. Yeah. 408. You're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Oh, is that me?
That's you, Alex.
Happy
What's
New
up?
Year. It's Alex. Hey, man. Sorry I haven't called in a while. There's just been nothing to say lately. Joe Biden's still going to be president. We're still waiting for him to move in with his cronies and for him to be slightly better than Trump, but not to any significant degree. And I blinked, and now we're in Mad Max. Like, what the hell happened? How did we get here? Like, oh, my goodness. We're going through a pandemic. The government is being stingy. Tens of thousands of people are losing their jobs. And now we're having a coup. Because apparently these morons think that Trump won and that their party doesn't respect them and isn't fighting for them and doesn't care about them. Gee, I have no idea what that feels like, huh, Tim? These people, these maggots, they would never last 5 seconds as a progressive lefty. Like, oh, that's very sad. Having a party that doesn't respect you and doesn't do what you want them to do. Like, you think you're being shafted? You think nobody in Congress cares about you? These people are psychotic. They just did something no left-leaning person could ever pull off. Like, they're real lucky they're white, or they would have been long before they got up the stairs. Like, I'm shocked how far these people got. I mean, you and I we just want health care and to not have police shoot black people. Like, we'd have been shot dead and arrested if we stormed the Capitol and, like, wanted Mike Pence's head on a silver plate, right? And like, imagine if Hillary Clinton had refused to acknowledge Trump's win. Imagine the outrage from both sides. Like, imagine if Obama refused to go to Trump's inauguration. Like, these are just these are the most entitled losers in American history. They are just so whiny, it makes my head spin. And also, like, these people stormed the Capitol as it was in session, like, shoved aside barriers, shoved aside police, and only 4 people died. Like, I'm not saying it's good for the government to shoot its own people. Like, we're Americans. We're all family. Like, it's not cool to wish death upon anyone. But I'm just saying, if this was Antifa, there'd be 400 casualties, at least. Like, if it was Antifa who stormed the Capitol wanting Mike Pence's head, they would have been summarily executed. And what I don't get for the life of me is why they do this over Joe Biden. Like, if Bernie Sanders was going to be president, I might understand why they'd go to the Capitol and start some shit. I mean, socialism's still a scary word to them. They probably feel intimidated. But this is Joe Biden. He's a white flag, a premature surrender. He's going to work with your side way more than he should. Like, I swear, they're the most entitled babies in the history of the country. You could bring back the corpse of Richard Nixon, dust him off, make him president, and these MAGA idiots would think communism is coming to America. Like, if Donald Trump was as smart as Dick Cheney, he'd have a chance at making himself president for life. He'd do it. He doesn't care. He has 1/5 of the country in his pocket, and they do anything for him. It's really fascinating. I didn't look at Bush like this. Trump is everything to these people, and that's what we really saw 2 days ago. He is the last hope of their dreams of might and power and dominance for a period that never really existed. And he just wants to keep the power he has. And hell, at this point, what's to stop him from making himself just president to 1/5 of the country? I mean, these people are psychotic enough, and it's really scary that we're stuck with this village of idiots who turned this billionaire fat cat into Jesus. Anyways, we're dancing on the deck of the Titanic here. This Capitol thing is only the latest way people in this country are upset and letting it be known and doing it for their wrong reasons. But the fact is, this pandemic might last another year. And once again, the government miraculously seems to have lost its wallet. So it should be interesting to see what happens next. Anyways, I yield my time. Good to hear from you again, bro.
You got it, Alex. Thanks for calling up, man. Good up for Alex from Berkeley. Now, all we need is Kara, right? And we have and we'll be having the old school, we will have gotten the old band back together again, you know? I'm going to keep it moving, man. Different thoughts, different ideas. Let's go to it. 352, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment, 352?
10352.
That's you.
All right, bro. It's Gary down in Gainesville. Tim, thank you, bro. You did a hell of a job on your video today. When I watched it when you did the Capitol thing, I said,
Thanks, brother.
I know what this going to say. All right, you tell us that was stand-up. I mean, you nailed it. I watched all the things. I was waiting for your friggin' video to come out. I was waiting, but I said, I already know. I said, this gonna nail this. Before I even watch it, I know he's gonna say, what the hell? They didn't see this coming? They didn't see this coming? Ray Charles could have seen this coming. Are you kidding me? So anyway, I says, here's the thing why I want to get to. I don't know why everyone's cutting him such slack. Why are they so scared of this guy? Trump said at the end of his speech, this country will not be taken back with weakness. It must be taken back with strength, and we will walk to the Capitol together. And he walked into the White House, sat down and watched TV, and the fucking guys fucking just fell. Are you fucking kidding me? Tim, did I miss something there?
No.
He walked into, that's your leader? He said, hey guys, you go fucking, and then the next day he comes out and he says, I condemn all these. You're the one that fucking incited them to do it. And now you're throwing them to the wolves. How many times have we seen this guy do it? He loves you until he fucking uses you up and sucks your blood out of you. I mean, I don't give a shit what color you are, or what religion you are, or what nationality. That had to be an embarrassment around the world. That had to be, we embarrassed ourselves to the world. You guys are going to Iraq and Iran and Afghanistan and fighting all these things for democracy and trying to spread democracy around the world, and you let that shit happen? You guys can't even got democracy in your country. They're trying to overthrow your vote, and you don't even have, you're supposed to be powerful enough not to get embarrassed like that. Okay, listen, we could have dissent, but nobody was ready for that. Nobody was. I'm not blaming the officers and shit like that. I'm sure there was a lot of fucking bullshit going on both sides. I think what happened, it was a stand down. And who has the power to really scare everybody to not fucking anything else? Any president would have friggin' said, listen, you do what you have to do to protect the Capitol. This president said, listen, he basically led the insurrection, and he walked and took a right and went into his house and watched it on TV. could you follow a leader like that? The leader just led you to the fucking fire, and then the next day he's like, "You were assholes that went there. You didn't have to listen to me." I didn't mean exactly what I said. That's what he said. I didn't mean exactly like we're gonna go storm the Capitol. And these son of a guns went off the edge. These guys went off the edge. And well, think about what the country. I mean, that was so bad. This country has to be embarrassed. Now they want to fucking impeach Trump with 13 days left. I'm like, lock him in his room with his teddy bear and his milk and cookies. What the hell is he going to do in 13 days? The guy can't frickin' even speak. He's embarrassed. He came out. He made himself look like the punk he was. He's tough. He's trying to be a tough guy, a gangster. And I know he's got connections. I don't give a shit. His boys come knock on my door tonight. Take me. Fucking assholes. But I gotta call it the way it is. He's a gangster. He's a punk. And the worst thing is, he's not even loyal to the people he says he loves. You're freaking incited the crowd. Follow me to the Capitol. We'll march together. And then you take a right to the House and watch it on TV, and you just let them go to the flames. But for those people to follow him, that's their fault in the first place. I mean, if Trump told, I don't care who it was. If it was Jennifer Lopez up there, all right, and she had me, mesmerized and said, "Gary, follow me." I said, "Jen, I ain't breaking into the Capitol. I'm sorry. I'm going to get shot. I'm not going in. I'm not breaking into the Capitol of the United States of America. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?" So, Tim, I'll let you go. You got great calls tonight. I love you. Let me prevent. And but to talk forever. But anyway, I love you, Tim, and great job.
Love you back, Gary. Thank you, brother. Good to hear from you as always, man. You know it, man. Even Jennifer Lopez couldn't get you to do that, huh, man? Yeah, man. J-Lo's still kicking it, ain't she? Still doing her thing. Hey, look, I was going to do a segment. Just things, my time ran so long, I want to get to phone calls. You know they banned Trump from Twitter, right? And, yeah, that happened. And people, I just want people to know that Trump knew they were going to do that. I think it was intentional. Like, push it as far as it can go and then get banned, play victim, and then send them to Parler or whatever the name of that, that new social media website that's sort of like Twitter, but for conservatives. And they've been promoting it very hard on Fox News. I mean, Sean Hannity was promoting the app, promoting it tonight on the show. Him and Dan Bongino or whatever. So that's the plan, man. It's not, you got people going, there's a freedom of, Trump did everything he could do to get kicked off just to use it. Now, I'm not saying they're not going to do more censorship. I'm not going to say that at all because, they're going to take advantage of any opportunity. Trump gave them the opportunity by pushing it so far until they had to pull the trigger. Now he can pretend, me? We need to fight back. We need to strike back. We need to do this, join this, or do this other thing that makes me money and continue to follow me. That's the play. All right, I'm going to go to the next call, Gary. Thank you, my brother. 407, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Alex.
All right now?
Hey, well, just to add on to what you were saying, 40 years ago with the whole cap big thing, the thing, how's that called? For all those NFL players to lose their platform and say he lost his. I don't condone any censorship, but it's like, I don't feel bad for him either that he took the L on this one. So. Hello?
Yeah.
Did you hear me?
Not really, brother. I couldn't really hear what you were saying.
I was just talking about the situation with Kaepernick. These were the same people whining about that a couple years.
Oh,
ago.
Kaepernick whining the football. Yeah, okay, yeah.
No,
About how they
no,
protested.
they're doing. Yeah,
Hypocrites.
and those were the same people that were whining about the issue of
Yeah.
what Kaepernick did.
Uh-huh.
Today, he lost his platform, like he was calling for theirs. So,
Well, brother, I think I get your point, man. It's a little hard to make out what you're saying, but if I'm not mistaken, what I'm getting from it, because I got these little cheap headphones on now, man, but it sounds like you're saying these people that were protesting are the same people that didn't understand, pretended to not understand why Colin Kaepernick was protesting. And they didn't support his protests, but they want the world to support their protests. But see, most of these people, they're different because they're white. And they get to do whatever the hell they want to do. This is their country. They're oath keepers, man. They're American patriots. Colin Kaepernick's not considered a patriot because he's, he's half white. Adopted by a white person. I don't know, man. I don't know what. Like, we should respect freedom of speech, freedom to protest, as long as you don't hurt anybody. I don't know. That's what I thought. But, the flag was the Capitol. But, they got us because, like, I can't be like, act like I'm overly, you went into the Capitol and desecrated the Capitol. Oh, God, I can't. Oh, my God, the outrage. Like, I can't, I'm not going to pretend, that I'm morally wounded because these people went into the Capitol. All I'm tripping about is the obvious disparities, that are so evident in the way that they treat us, the biased nature of the treatment that they give depending on who it is. That's all, but, I'm not, it's not, oh my God, like they were about the one guy not standing for the flag. Oh my God, oh God, one guy, like, oh no! Trump made the whole, people love. There have been things done in this country that are so horrific and so horrible and so inhumane. For you to trip off one guy, even if you wanted to not understand at all about police brutality or civil rights or justice, there's been so many things that have been done in this country that you could be upset about, and you're upset about a guy taking a knee at a football game? Really, Johnson? Really, Johnson? Really? Really? Man. All right, I'm going to next call, Gary. I'm going to the next call, my brother, 407 guy. I appreciate it. 808, you're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hello? Is
Hey,
me, Tim?
that's you, my friend. How you doing?
It's William from... Good, man. It's William from Hawaii. I'm the guy who always gets pissed off and forgets to say my name. Listen, today I'm going to stay nice and calm, hopefully. But I do, for once, rather than ranting, have a perspective that I think I can offer something to the show for a change. So when all this broke out yesterday, I was watching, flipping through the channels, had different media on the computer as well. And it kind of started out as typical as you would think it was coming out as, the mob, the riot, along these lines. And then shortly after, Joe Biden stands up in front of millions of eyes in America and throws out the term domestic terrorists. And since that time, every talking head in mainstream media is throwing it out. Even you even have people in independent media throwing that term out like they're talking about a traffic ticket. But that designation has huge significance and is very dangerous and sets a very dangerous precedent. About a year and a half ago, there was a hearing in Congress in which the head of the FBI was testifying, and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez asked him a very pointed question about a very specific case that dealt with neo-Nazis, a group of neo-Nazis. And she felt that they deserved that designation, and she didn't understand why they were not designated that way. And he came back, and he gave an answer, but he said he would have to follow up. About a week later, he admitted in writing the answer to her question, and it all had to do with the mandate of the FBI, what their overall mission is. And part of their requirement is they are required to bring anybody justifiably accused of a federal crime to face justice. Now, under the designation of terrorist, what happens is it opens up a whole new can of worms where you lose your Miranda rights. You lose your ability to be seen before a judge.
Due process.
You can be picked up and held without charges, indefinitely without charges. And this can go on forever. I understand it is hard to look at something that you disagree with and try and think of, your First Amendment rights and protecting them. But if you don't protect those rights for the people that you don't agree with, you're going to end up screwing yourself because that doorway doesn't open one way. It goes both ways. Now, this designation hasn't existed for all that long historically. And if you think back, during the civil rights movement, during the suffrage movement, these were not popular things. These were things the majority of the country was against. And could you imagine if they had that designation and used it at that time? You wouldn't have, as sorry and unequal as the rights are in the country right now, there'd be nothing. I mean, we'd be living in the 19th century. And my second point is, why this is just a fact. I haven't formulated an opinion on what happened because I don't know. I just know what I see, and I'm sure a lot is going to come out over time to exactly what happened. But I know for a fact that Donald Trump is the president of the United States. He's the commander-in-chief. He alone, according to the draft rights that were written up in the 1917, he alone, the Civil Service Act of 1917, he alone has the right to call any U.S. citizen registered into service at any time at his own discretion. Everyone knew he was gathering those people there, and everyone specifically saw him tell those people, as the commander-in-chief, what he wanted to do, and he was going with them. And I can't speak for those people. In fact, to a degree, a lot of those people I pity. And a lot of, there are people that infiltrate and are just shitbags, for lack of a better term. But I don't know. I feel like, I get uptight when I hear people joking about this or people laughing about this, and it's such a serious thing. And if we just sit there and accept these terms and not even question because we're angry, we're going to be in a lot of trouble in the country. Everybody's going to be in a lot of trouble in the country. And anyway, thank you, Tim. I appreciate having this platform to call up and for once actually make a point without losing my shit.
Well, thank you, Wayne, for calling up, man. It's good to hear from you. And you got your point across, and it is something to think about, okay? Because what type of precedence does it set? If we consider and we consider these people as terrorists. Now, and what the ramifications of that are. Good point. Sometimes people throw around words. I don't think they think about the full weight of them. And they just say them. And I don't think it really applies to an accurate descriptor as opposed to just how people feel at the moment. You know what I'm saying? That guy's a terrorist. You know, sometimes I joke with Mrs. Black about our grandbaby because she gets to do whatever she wants to do, and she'll just run up and take your phone or knock something out your hand or just grab you or interrupt your conversation. And I'd be like, man, she a little terrorist, man. She's a little terrorist. You know, of course, she's not. She's 2. She's doing what 2-year-olds do. You know what I'm saying? But to your point about the people, man, look at what these people did. Now, there's one officer who lost his life. And people may not know it or not, but I don't walk around going, kill cops. I don't do that. That's not, I get angry about stuff. I report on stuff. I want the cop that did the thing, okay? That's the cop I want to pay, not just random cops. So I'm not happy about the officer who lost his life. I don't know. There's an investigation into how that happened. Somebody hit him with a fire extinguisher. That's what I read. But the other 4, minus Babette, the other 3, are people who died of like heart attacks and strokes. Does not sound like a well-oiled, planned machine to me. Sounds like people not being too seriously considering what they're doing. With a not very well thought out plan. That's what I'm saying. They could have very drastic results, which could happen to any group doing anything. And I think they were treated very well. They were able to go home, Johnson. They were able to go home. They had emotions. They did something. They could have all paid with their lives, and 99% of them got to go home. So, you know, I don't know. Yes, yeah, people making fun of them or people saying stuff, but they're alive, Johnson. And then most of them are free. And I know that there's still activists from Ferguson 5 years ago who are still in jail for damaging a police car. I'm going to the next call. 310. There you go. You're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hello?
Hey, you're live. How you doing?
Hey, it's Smart Sister. What's up?
What's going on, Smart Sister? What's on your mind? I know you got something to say.
Oh, honey, hunty, you already know that. I missed the beginning of your show, so I don't know if you talked about Miss Harris plagiarizing Martin Luther King.
Yeah, that was earlier in the week, but go right ahead for anybody who didn't hear it.
Oh, yeah, I saw you earlier this week talking about it. I just thought I didn't know tonight, but anyway. That's what I just did a thing on her talking about she wanting her freedom. I am just to the point. I guess she gonna be the next pathological liar that's gonna be in the White House. Because first of all, we got Kwanzaa, and she know good and doggone well her Asian family wasn't celebrating Kwanzaa when she was a little girl. So please. I mean, she grew up in Canada. Most people don't remember that. She grew up in Canada. Okay? She didn't grow up in California. Okay? So it's a whole lot of black stuff. She don't know nothing about no rubber band rope, no, coming in before the street lights come on. It's a whole bunch of cultural black things she don't know a damn thing about. And then now she got to take an article, story from Martin Luther King that was in Playboy And now instead of feed them, she wanted her feed them. Now, if you was in a stroller and fell out of a damn stroller, you know she had to be 2, 3? How many big ass kids is still in a stroller? Okay, so if she was 2, let's just say she was 4. Okay, even if she was that old, if you done fell out the stroller and they didn't know where you were and they find you and they ask you what you want, you ain't gonna say no damn freedom. You gonna say, I want some water, I need to go to the bathroom, can I have some ice cream? What?
Yes.
Get the hell up out of here. I'm so sick of her already till it's just giving me a headache. I guess she learned from Joe how to plagiarize shit. You know what I mean? Oh my God! So we just gotta get ready. Cause like I said, she the new pathological liar. I don't know why she thinks she's got to pander to black people so bad. I don't get it. You only 25% black. You barely making it. You probably ain't gonna get no reparation. you sitting up here talking about, freedom. Oh my God, if I could have slapped her, I would have. Oh, get all the Secret Service on me. It would be worth it. So that's all I got tonight. Other than talking about this crazy ass people with the Capitol. Black people sitting back eating popcorn, looking at stuff. I was laughing because I'm like, damn well, if all the few little black people that was sprinkled around in the crowd, they probably was gonna be the first ones that got arrested. So you gonna take your dumb black ass and be with them. You gonna be the first one they get. And like you were saying, you got Secret Service, well, not Secret Service, but the whole intelligence community, FBI, CIA, they knew what all of them was going to do. This was just political theater, okay? So now the Republicans can kind of back out of stuff and not be with Trump and save face, even Miss Lindsay. And then Biden can try to act like he, if they were black, well, you wouldn't have gave a damn if they were or were not. You lock them up anyway. You and Kamala. So, like you're saying, I'm just going to wait and see. Like you said, if brothers and sisters from I'm from St. Louis. I don't know exactly where Ferguson is. I used to drive through there all the time. And it was so racist at one point. It was a city called Jennings that was right next to Ferguson. Baby, you just being black driving through, you get pulled over. And that's where the cop that killed Michael Brown came from. They were so racist, Tim, they ended up closing it down. The city was that bad.
Wow.
And that's where that cop that killed Mike came from. So, like I said, I know exactly all about it because I grew up there. And it's like, no, we gonna see, because damn well half of them folks, they got facial recognition software and everything else. They ought to know all 50,000 of them that was there. They just go and look at license plates on cars and everything. They know who those people are. And once again, if nobody gets arrested, nobody goes to jail, it's all good, then what does that tell you? White supremacy is going to protect itself. And that's all why I'm like, black folks, this ain't your fight. Let them do what they going to do, because then we're going to see, the world is going to see that ain't nothing going to happen to them people. Because if it was going to happen, they would have had 50,000 soldiers there to shoot their asses off for climbing up them walls. You know what I'm saying? So, excuse me. Ain't nothing going to happen. So we just going to see it's going to be another blatant example of how racist America is. So black folks need to quit worrying about that shit, talking about my capital. Are you kidding me? Yeah, black people built it, but it ain't nothing in them walls coming your way. So we need to do a Blaxit, baby. We need to be looking at how we can pull our stuff together and move on because, it's just rotten to the core. And why keep fighting something that's not set up for you in the first place? So, okay, I'm done ranting. Thank you. Have
You're
a
welcome.
good night.
You got it, smart sister. Thanks for calling in. Give it up for smart sister, y'all. I only know of one arrest for sure. And that's the guy that was in Nancy Pelosi's chair like this. With his feet up on the desk. They came and got his ass at work, I think. So they got him, Nancy made sure of that. She almost dropped her ice cream. She got home. She threw all the ice cream out and said, I'm not eating another gallon of ice cream until that bastard that put his poor white ass in my chair is in the jail cell. So get out there and put him in the jail cell right now. They went and got him too. I'm going to go to the next call. I got a 314 call. 314, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hi, well, I guess I'm the perfect phone call because I'm from St. Louis, and she was spot on about Jennings. So she was spot on about everything she said. That was a great phone call. I'm Missy,
Hey,
and thank you for having me.
absolutely. How you doing?
She couldn't be more spot on about Jennings. I couldn't even believe when she said that. It was so transparent. And the only thing I would like to say, why didn't that Capitol police officer shoot that girl with a viral video in the leg? Why did he have to shoot to kill when, it was such a point blank range? I don't understand. Where is the value of human life? That's what matters, is human life. It doesn't even matter what color, race you are anymore. It matters about your life. And we need to value that again. We need to value and America values human life. America values. Basically, the family, low taxes so that we can start businesses here, just everything. I'm so freaked out by how woke the last caller was with St. Louis. And St. Louis is just like that. And Ferguson was crazy. It was crazy to be a part of that. And Jennings is still a bad area. It's just like Ferguson. So she was definitely spot on that. It's nice to see that people are awake to the deep state and to all of what's going on. We didn't know about this, but I don't know what we can do in the future to make it better. If you could commentate, I'd love to hear your opinion.
All right, sister. Well, thanks for calling the show. And wow, give it up for Metzi out there. And she said St. Louis, man. And she says Jennings is hell. Don't go to Jennings. Look, everybody could call the show. This is what it's for. People give their opinions. Let me tell you something, sister. You said something. You said we need to value human life again. I'm trying to figure out when we did. When did we value human life here? Oh, your life. White life. Because America's never valued black life. One could question if America values white life. Rich white life, not poor white life. Remember, America's the country that had 8, 9, 10-year-olds working 15-hour shifts, running heavy machinery, losing their arms and legs. America's a country that families, all the men in the families and generations of West Virginians and Paula Swearingen's family have died of black lung from working in unsafe conditions in the mines. And I'm just talking about just white people right now. So we're not even going to get into the lack of respect for human life when it comes to black folks or anybody brown or indigenous. Trail of Tears ring a bell? So, look, sister, this whole notion that we got to get back to something. No, we're trying to get to something. And we would like you to join us in the push to get to something. But that's something, let's be very clear, that's something that's never existed in this country. Equality. True justice. So. All right, let's go next call. I appreciate you guys for holding on. We gotta share the information though. We gotta do it. 573. You're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, Tim. I'm Sally from Missouri. Thank you so much for doing the Lord's work.
Thank you.
I also wanted to
90
address the
seconds.
girl from St. Louis. So she asked why the cop had to shoot Ashley in the neck. And the simple answer is because her dumb neck was coming through the window while she was invading the Capitol, and the cop was facing the window, and he sees her stupid face coming through. And that woman, Ashley Babbitt, could have been intending to murder Pence, as several rioters stated that they wanted to hang him from a tree on Capitol Hill.
60 seconds.
Sorry to add that comment, but I wanted to answer her question for her. And then also I wanted to address, I really hope your first caller of the night, Mr. Upper Echelon from New York, is still here. So I wanted to let him know that the arrest data is available online right now. It's at mpdc.dc.gov. And you can scroll through those names. And by the way, there are a lot of Kevins and Wesleys, of course, obviously, because that's a Trump supporter name. But you can actually scroll through all of those Trump supporters. And yes, they were Trump
10
supporters, not
seconds.
Antifa. You can scroll through their names, see where they're from, and what they were charged with. And I recommend that Mr. Upper Echelon does this because I actually did it on Wednesday night and Thursday. I scrolled through these names, and I actually looked some of the people up who had more unique names, because there are a lot of like Kevin Smiths or whatever, but I looked them up, and they have a strong social media presence because all the Trump supporters are brazen and do post, hi, I love Trump all over their Instagram. You see Trump crap here, Trump crap there, and it's so obvious. So I just wanted to let him know that the data is available and that he keeps himself ignorant of the facts because the facts don't fit in with his worldview. He likes to think, oh, not all, Trump supporters, are this crazy. Yes, they absolutely are. I can tell you, I'm here in Missouri. I have been fighting that good fight with you, Tim, but amongst my family members, just trying to convert them to the light, and it's been tough. But lastly, I just wanted to come back to what Tucker Carlson said. He actually said, "Oh, the world isn't a better place with Ashley Babbitt dead," and honestly, I disagree with him. A lot of those people had metal pipes, bomb materials, weapons. They were macing the police. They murdered a police officer who was trying to defend our Capitol. And these people are among us. They're armed and they're dangerous. They had designs to murder people. They wanted to hang Mike Pence. And I'm not just going to come out and say, oh, I'm glad she's dead, but I'm glad that we're safe from her and whatever she had planned for that day. So that's all. sorry. I know that I don't want that to reflect badly on you, but.
Actually, it reflects very, very favorably on me, actually, Sally. It's the opposite. In fact, I think you calling up right behind Mitzi was great. Because like people need to know, don't judge a book by its cover, right? Don't judge a person by their voice or where they say they're from. Because you went hard in the paint, Sally, and I want you to know you're an ally, at least based on this call. I don't know you personally, but you sound like somebody who's not a person that swallows mainstream media bullshit, and you're willing to call it out. So that was good, and I hope KJ heard you, upper echelon Trump person. That's his way of saying he has money. He's a small business owner, which he said over and over. Yeah, that's not a good way to put it. Like if a black person said, "Yeah, I'm a Biden, no, I'm an Obama supporter, but you know I'm an upper echelon Obama." Like, what the hell? Oh, I know, Uncle Tom. Okay, I get it. You could have just said that, man. But now, thank you, Sally, for the phone call, man. It's calls like this that make this show worth doing, man. You guys are something else. It's like magic. Okay, going to the next call. I got a 310. 310, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment? Uh-oh, 310. They left. They dropped as soon as I picked them up. Isn't that something? 231, we'll go to you. 231, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Well, good evening. That's Abigail's dad. I almost hate to call in on a night like tonight because all these good callers. This is one of the best shows I've heard in a while. But, by golly, Tim, I'm just going to throw a couple little things out there, and I'm going to make it quick because if I don't let Abigail on the phone, she ain't going to talk to me again. She's sitting out in the other room right now she just figured it out because it's on a 10-second delay out of that end of the house. She come running out here. But just something, a little food for thought there, by golly. I'm glad that the Tim Black Show is Tim Black Show and not the Jimmy Dore Show. But for all those people out there that have all the problems about the slight views of differences or whatever, that's why we have multiple shows. And Tim Black, you just keep on being Tim Black. And on that note, I'm going to pass this over because there's a little girl here that if I don't let her say hi, she's going to be very, very upset with her dad. So here's Abigail.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, Abigail. How you doing?
Well, very well.
Very well. Did you have a good Christmas, Abigail?
Yes, I did have a good Christmas. I had a very happy Christmas.
That is great. How old are you?
I got something from Santa. It was a big Hello Kitty cup, and I dropped it, and it shattered.
You said you got a
But
kid.
he saved the day and got me another one.
Oh, okay. You drowned the cat?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I'm passing him back to Daddy.
Oh, that's not good. Okay, thank you,
Hey,
Abigail.
Tim.
Yeah. Yes.
Hey, Tim, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here, brother.
So we laying in bed Christmas morning, and all we hear is a little girl opening Santa presents, and all we heard in a high-pitched voice is, "Oh, Hello Kitty," and she picked up the little stuffed animal that was in the cup, and you heard the cup go tink on the table, roll all the way across the table, and then in a million pieces on the floor.
Oh, okay.
They were all laying in the bed and went, "Bye-bye, Kitty." You have a good night now, Tim.
You too, brother. Thank you for clearing that up. Give it up for Abigail and Abigail's dad for calling up, man. That's good. That's I was worried there about the kitty because I'll hear about it, man. If it was a real kitty and I didn't say something, people be mad at me. You won't believe they hold me to such a high standard. I gotta resolve these things. But I appreciate it, man. That's cool. That's dope. Happy New Year's to Abigail. And yes. 646. Let's go to Never Call. 646, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, how you doing, Tim? This is Rob. I'm originally from New York. I live in Newark, New Jersey now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, Rob. What's up, man?
Hello?
Yeah, Rob.
All right, cool. So, yeah, basically, I just wanted to say thank you for what you're doing. You're speaking the truth out there, and I appreciate that. The other thing I was going to say is a lot of people started sleeping about what people these Trumpers have been up to, with the Georgia elections and everything else that's been going on. And people think that this Capitol thing is the first thing. I think there's going to be more stuff coming down the line because these people are kind of, crazy or whatever. And I think that, basically, that's basically what I'm trying to say. It's like they live in communities where, where they're amongst themselves, and a lot of them, what's the word I'm trying to say? They don't get the resources that a lot of these major cities have. You know what I mean? They live, like in New York, you have a lot of internet, you have different resources to get their news and everything else. And if you go into these major cities, you notice that a lot of people are more open to what's going on, right? But when I drive around to some of these like rural areas or whatever it is, it's just them amongst themselves, communicating amongst themselves and everything. That Million MAGA March, I was watching videos from other people that were on site, and you could hear them as they're walking through crowds, like talking to each other, talking about networking and getting to know each other and everything else. So in my mind, all that says to me is all those rallies and all the things that they're doing are mean to them, gathering information for them to do something down the line. And I think that's what's driven this whole Capitol thing as well. You know what I mean? A lot of the stuff that they were doing previously allowed them the opportunity to meet each other and do that stuff. And the problem, what I think with progressives is that they rely, a lot with, doing the regular news things or whatever. We need to get out there into the community as well and kind of like force the narrative of what's right and what's wrong, because these people, they don't have, I think a lot of them don't have the resources. They look just as poor as anybody else. Like we look, like we're suffering and they're suffering, but for some reason or another, it's our fault that they're suffering. You know what I mean? And then at the end of the day, I feel like we need to educate them. They're amongst themselves. They're in their little caves. Basically, what's the word I'm looking for? Just amongst themselves. Like
right.
they have their own resources and they're sticking to it. You know what I mean? And that's what's killing me. You know what I mean? Like I fear, like we're gonna get through this and we'll get Biden in the office, but I fear these people are gonna be running around like roaches, still doing their dirt. You know what I mean? And we really need to keep our eyes open for that. We also need to help kind of like transition them into, thinking more positive about government, and that we could be better people and more community driven and help each other instead of counting on the government as much to provide for us. Because we're all suffering. Democrats, Republicans, we're all suffering, and everybody wants to point a finger, but nobody wants to work amongst themselves together, like whether they're Democrats or not. You know what I mean? Like I'm personally, consider the democratic socialist mentality or whatever it is. But, I'm open-minded. If somebody's speaking common sense and they're out for the good reasons, the good stuff out there, I'm with them. I don't care who you are. But at the same time, if you're out there spewing QAnon nonsense and whatever else and believe in that nonsense, and you're destroying the country, like somebody was talking about all the rioting and everything that was happening, they were breaking down windows with the American flag. These people are such hypocrites. They talk about all this stuff about patriotism, and they're breaking into the Capitol with the flag that they supposedly respect so much. Well, basically, that's basically what I want to say. I think we just need to keep our eyes open. We need to be safe, and we need to, as a community, everybody needs to work more together as a community and help give some of these people resources so they could see the truth. You know what I mean? And I appreciate what you're doing because you're speaking truth and facts. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, bro.
Man, thank you too, Rob. I appreciate your phone call, man, and up there from New Jersey, man, by way of New York. But yeah, I can't disagree with you, man. And we joke a lot, but at the end of it, on a serious note, right? That's what it's all about, man. It's about education, and we want to convert people to another way of thinking, right? Like it always strikes me, man, that we got people that are struggling the most. Like, look at Kentucky, man. Kentucky is a state where Mitch McConnell won't approve a stimulus. And I can't think of, except maybe for like Alabama or West Virginia, a state that needs it more. Meanwhile, this millionaire sitting around telling people, multimillionaire, telling people they don't need a stimulus. Same thing with West Virginia with Joe Manchin, voting against, said he's not going to vote for a stimulus. And these people that are in those districts, and for all, purposes, I would consider Manchin to be a Republican. All intents and purposes, based on his voting record. So the people that live in these areas, these states, these locations where they have this type of leadership and they're in that bubble, so to speak, as you explained, they need to know that a country like a politician, because people say, Tim, politicians report to us. Yes, and I'm trying to build politicians that report to us in mass so that they can get our interests done. One or two can't do it. So we have a disagreement on the strategy in order to build those politicians to give them power to do something. And we're moving closer and closer. But make no mistake about it, man, there are people that are struggling, and still they are not asking much of their government. They need to change that. Not by storming the Capitol, but by replacing these damn politicians. And that's why when I brought on the guys from NoHoneymoon.com, I thought people would like it. They're talking about primarying piece of shit Democrats who are against our goals. And instead of people rallying around that, guys, I had so many people in my comment section mad because they didn't agree with certain other people's opinions and how to deal with AOC. These are people that have been activists for 30 years. But their whole existence, if you go to their website, it's about getting rid of people like Joe Manchin, and I thought that's what we wanted. So people may not always agree with them, but we should work together on the stuff we do agree about. I'm not talking about neo-Nazis. I'm talking about Democrats or Democratic socialists who agree with you on 80% of things. That's why I say this division has been toxic and unhelpful. At this point, we can't even work with people who agree with us 80% of the way. That have infrastructure in place and people on the ground in states across the country. We won't work with them because they disagree with this person's strategy on this one thing. I thought we were trying to get shit done, man. I thought we really wanted to get shit done. So I'm going to be working with them because I want to primary some of these bastards. I'm sorry if I'm more concerned with getting rid of Joe Manchin than I'm concerned about getting rid of Ilhan Omar. But I think the difference is obvious between the two. And I'm not talking about skin tone or gender. Can you join me in that? That make any sense? Probably not. Probably right now there are people having something negative to say about that. I'm not even looking at my comment section. I already know who those people are. I'm going to go next call, man, but I'm thankful, Rob, that you called up because I think that's important what you were just saying inspired me to say that. I think it needs to be said. We don't have to agree on everything. Let's agree on some of this shit and let's get it done. Let's primary their asses. 336, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment, 336?
Hey, Tim, this is France again. Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I was calling for two things. First, I wanted to say, have you seen the guy who had his feet propped up on Nancy Pelosi's desk was trying to normalize white nationalists as a phrase?
Yeah, I commented about it a few minutes ago. Yeah, he got locked up. He got arrested.
Yeah, he did. And my second comment was in reference to all the people who were calling and basically doing some sort of apology for the people in the Capitol and saying we need to be worried about what comes next if they charge these people with this. My comment to that is, in the past, all these laws have always applied to us. So it's kind of crazy to hear a bunch of people who the laws have never been distributed equitably, and they're like, every time it comes time for them to feel the full brunt of the same laws that they push on us, they say, "Oh, well, can you imagine what if they start doing it to all of us?" But the point is, they're already enforcing these laws.
Sorry.
I don't get it. But that was my comment.
Yeah. That's fun. It's a good point, man. That's an excellent point, brother. Yeah, now, hold on, man. It's like these repercussions, these consequences and repercussions have been coming for some of us since forever, right? And then when other people get them, it's like, hey, hold on, let's look at these. Hey, take a look at this here. Hold on a second. Before these 40 lashes, let's talk about this. Listen, what good is this? No, seriously, guys. Why are we doing this to one another? Let's think about what we're doing. But meanwhile, it's a trail of people who've been given 40 lashes and you never gave a damn. But now that you're about to get your 40 lashes, now we want to have a conversation. Now we need to talk. You know what? Let's talk after we get these 40 lashes. Brother, and this is why I had to change my perspective on Babbitt. Because at first I was listening to Sean King. Sean King's like, I'm always advocating for people who are shot by police and social justice, and I'm going to say something now that's not going to go well with my followers, and that is that, Miss Babbitt, she should not have been shot. It was unlawful. And I read it, and I'm like, yeah, man, I don't want people to think I think it's okay for people to get shot just because they're, white people. I don't think that. You're right. I don't want people to think that. She didn't have a gun, don't shoot her, But when I thought further about it, I'm like, well, hold on a second. I don't need to prove that to anybody. I'm a person that's covered stories of white people getting shot by cops, and I stood up for them. Most of them were in their damn homes. I've covered stories of white guys the young white guy got killed at the damn hotel with his girlfriend. The white kid that got killed, opening the door, they're looking for his dad. He was playing the Wii. And when they came to answer the door, they thought his Wii controller was a gun and shot the little kid in his own, but not a little kid, he was like 12, shot him in his own house and killed him. Damn warrants, man. So, man, that's just a couple of them. What about the kid they killed, the young man that they killed, and lied to his mother and said they found him in the side of the road in a ditch? Meanwhile, they had smothered him to death like George Floyd. Because he took some drugs and they didn't know how to handle him, so they just squeezed the life out of him and laughed while they did it. I covered those stories. So, yeah, I said, you know what, Tim, you don't need to defend yourself. You have a track record, if anybody's interested, of fighting for the disenfranchised and the victims, no matter who they are, right? But Ashley Babbitt, still, that's a life. So I'm still, but, okay, I'm going to go on to the next call, but she's not like that guy who those cops murdered and then lied to the mother. Covered it up. It's not the same thing. She chose to do that shit, And I don't know if people realize this or not, but black people are actually very critical of other black people who do shit that they shouldn't do. It may not seem that way. That's because you watch Fox News, and the news you watch, they never show that. They never show how, don't do it. What are you doing? Man, you going, yep. I mean, every person who's brought up in the true black community around black folks, because some of us have been raised in different areas around different exposures, but I know I was raised, guys, and I hear that voice in the back of my head, a lot of us do. Fool, what you doing? You get 20 years for that. That voice is in the back of, it's like I feel like every young black kid gets that embedded in their heads, you know. That's why many of us don't think we'll live to see 18. Ask these young people. Anyway, guys, it's just what it is. I know I was surprised when I reached 18. 818. You are live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment? 818.
Hey, Tim, I love your show.
Thank you.
This is Terry Allen, radical progressive. We need to think really clearly here, okay? We are being played. We are being scammed. We are being divided. We are being pitted against each other. Look how polarized the media is. We are being manipulated. We are being propagandized. We have one enemy. The enemy is the 1%, the oligarchy. We can't take our eyes off of that. The American people have everything in common. We are being fucked. I'm sorry. We are being screwed. Sorry. We have to realize that they're going to turn this into a civil war. Look what happens. What you've got here, like the BLM, you had agent provocateurs. You had a small group of people smashing windows. Same thing here. Look at it. Look at the videos. Everybody was peaceful on both sides. And you have these agent provocateurs. And what do? They now all of a sudden, all of the Trump supporters are demons. All of the progressives and the left, they're demons. And we got to fight each other. And we're taking our eyes off the ball. We need to take on the military-industrial complex. We need to take on the deep state, the 1%, the people that were involved with Jeff Epstein. That is the enemy. We cannot take our eyes off of that. And everybody's talking back and forth. All my friends, polarized. Do you see what's going on? I know you do because, I love your show and you talk about stuff like this. We cannot allow them to divide us. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you make sense. When you say divide us, that gives me the impression that you thought that we were somehow united to begin with.
Well, right. I mean, they're playing on the game that's been played for years and years and decades and centuries. This is the game. We're taking our eyes off of who the real enemy is. The 1% are bleeding us dry. Look, both sides of Congress. There's not a damn dime's worth of difference between the Democrats and Republicans. If you look at economics and war, that is the problem. So we do need to unite. I mean, look what's been happening the last few years. Look at what's happening this year. It's really polarized. So we need to get together. We are one human race. There's not races. We are one human race. Well, people need to understand that. You look at genetics. Okay, so
all right,
that's
brother.
The issue.
Yeah,
that's what we're.
I hear you, man. From your lips to God's ears, brother. It's just where you been. Like when I hear this type of talk, and I'm not saying I disagree with it. Of course we need to unite, Johnson. You know when we needed to unite? 300 years ago, 200 years ago, 100 years ago, 50 years ago. When my mother and my dad couldn't sit where they wanted on a fucking bus. It took until, the 70s to come up with anti-lynching laws? You know why there's so many black folks, so many niggas in D.C. and New York? Because we were lynched in the South and had to run out and leave our homes to save our lives. So, yeah, I get your point. But let's not act like this is some new shit. And let's not act like, we're just divided by money now. No, it was race. It was race. And I hear you, man. I'm a Bernie supporter too. But I'm not a person that's delusional. I'm not a black person who's unaware that when people look at me, they see black. And that there's a tax for that in this country. no matter who my daddy is, because you don't give a shit when you look at me, you just see black. And there's a negativity associated with that, and there's a price to pay for that. And life expectancy, income, wealth, health, everything. So, yeah, I get your point, man. I do. And you're right. You're right. But I wish there was a little bit of tone in there about just a little bit of inflection in your voice that's less like we just need to hold hands and arms and not listen to the media. Now, we need to get rid of these racist bastards as well, who, if my name sounds black, won't call me back. Where in a country where, I don't know, a college-educated black man somehow ends up with less wealth than a white felon who dropped out of high school. And I'm not making this shit up. So, yeah, I understand. So if that's true, then what you're saying is true, but it's not as true as you make it to believe. And that's not going to solve that problem, is it? If these people stop watching MSNBC. So it's a lot of problems in this country at one time that need to be solved. There's a lot of them. And when we have these conversations, we need to have inflections and have nuance in our arguments that include those things. That at least lets us know that you acknowledge it and you understand it. And that you're not just saying, we just need to all, like, the 1%, the 1%, the 1%. Because we can get rid of the 1% and still have a bunch of racist assholes who want to put me in a tenement somewhere. Who won't give me a job without a broom. Okay? I know in the 80s when I worked as a government contractor and I was having a job that had a shirt and tie, there were black women there in administrative assistant positions who pulled me to the side and thanked me for being the first brother they'd seen that wasn't pushing a mail cart. And this is the mid-'80s. And don't tell me they couldn't find no black person who could do something besides push a mail cart in the Department of Justice. That's where it was. Office of Litigation Support, OLS. So we could just keep saying it's the 1%, but it's also racism and it's a lot of other shit. And it's sexism and it's on and you know what I'm saying? So just like include that in your argument, man. Stop acting like you discovered Bigfoot or some shit, you know? After Fox News and the MSNBC, we just stop letting them divide us. Nigga, we wasn't kumbaya before this. It's like the people that say, oh, it wasn't for Trump, everything would be perfect. Okay. As if when Trump wasn't in, everything was perfect. No, it wasn't. And that applies to this argument as well. And I know this is more than your dime. More than you. I know I'm giving you more feedback than your dime paid for. You know what I'm saying? But you inspired me, brother. You inspired me. 561. 561, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment? Oh, my bad, 561. There you go, 561. Hey.
Hey, how you doing, Sam?
I'm good now, man. How you doing? Who's this?
From Florida.
All right.
I'm gonna get right into it. In Minnesota, I didn't see any cops taking selfies with protesters at all. These cops supported the MAGAs, and the police that didn't outright support the MAGAs watched their coworkers support a coup and didn't do anything, just stood there. Law and order, the phrase law and order, in my eyes, has become, and maybe it's been this way for a long time and I just didn't realize it, but it's a racist dog whistle. Law and order has nothing to do with law and order and everything to do with supporting people like Donald Trump. And I know that the Democrats and Joe Biden aren't going to make terrific strides, but I don't feel like I'm gonna be seeing just random white people carrying Confederate flags in the Capitol building. So at least there's that. Anyway, thanks for taking my call tonight. I'll let you go, and you can get on to the next one.
Damn, brother, you killed it, man. Thank you. Give it up for my man from Florida, man. Give it up for that. To the point, but very, very good call, man. Yeah, I don't remember in Ferguson seeing the cops take pictures with the protesters. That's a good one. Hold on, man. Hold on, man. Oh, shit. Hold on. I got one more call in the queue. Come on, man. Give me some love. Okay, hold on, guys. Hold on 1 second, guys. All right, guys, my bad. I had to tweet that out, man. I'm sorry. That was a good one. Give it up for my caller from Florida who inspired the hell out of me with that one. Okay. We got some. Hey, man, look, that's showrunner's privilege. 931, thank you for holding. You're next in queue, 931. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim, you had three great callers from Missouri, and I'm right outside of St. Louis. But you would think that when it's election year, West Virginia and Eastern Kentucky should be as rich as Saudi Arabia, right? With all their natural resources they got. But come on now, let's be honest. It's not like that. But what I do want to say is about all these people talking about they stealing the vote and all that. Well, maybe you're not going to win a vote when you talk about John McCain in the state of Arizona. And this is just a rough estimate. Do you really think that after Stacey Abrams got screwed when they pulled all the black voters off the polls from now the governor of Georgia, and does these people not know that Georgia's 31% black? You know what I'm saying? And this is going to be a domino effect for the Republican Party in the South, because I'm from the South. Mississippi is like 37% black, and I believe Alabama's 27% black. And they're so surprised because they're not used to a black voter turnout. That's their goddamn problem. And I'm sorry for saying that word that way, but I do have a fix for the Republican Party, which they will never ever accept. And that is, why don't you take all those statues down and change the street signs and get rid of the names on the schools and put all that up in there and just create a Civil War museum, and then actually boot, because in the South, white people are obviously the only ones to believe that they love Jesus Christ like black people don't love Jesus Christ, right? It is so ridiculous that they do this to themselves. And Lindsey Graham was white in 2006 when he tweeted that Donald Trump will destroy the Republican Party. Well, thank you, Trump. That's all I got to say, Tim.
Well, thank you, brother. And, he did say that, didn't he? And people were wondering why he backed off of his previous rhetoric about Trump. And I guess he did the math and said he needed to keep Trump supporters happy if he wanted to stay in office. And now Trump's gone. Lindsey Graham has come back to his senses, so to speak, or he's decided to use a different grift. Guys, people are saying that the callers were a little low, but I had it up as high as it'll go, so I don't know what I could have done differently. Everything's turned to max. Mrs. Black came down to tell me that the calls were low, a little low. Not horrible, just a little low. I might have to look into that and find out what's up. What's up, Johnson? But I had great calls tonight. I want you all to know nothing but love for you, even if we disagreed slightly or if I got on a rant. It's not necessarily you. And that's the thing about all of this shit, right? Most of the things that we complain about, right? It's not even a person. It's a feeling we have about something else, right? It's not necessarily that person. Sometimes it is, but not always. So please don't take it personal, guys. If your call inspired me to go off, that's what I'm supposed to do. It's my job to go off. I don't want to let you down. But look, guys. I want to now go to the comment section and see if we got any love out there. See if I got anybody with a comment. Particularly my Wolfpack people that donated to the show. They I do want everyone to get a chance to speak their point, man, and it was great. Everybody calling up, man. We had a good show, man. We had a damn good show. Give it up for everybody called up. Here. One of them hard-ass topics, one of these national events that kind of can rip apart a group and divide us. It seems like we're not so divided. So let me go. Tony D, supporting the show. Thank you, Tony D. Art for supporting the show. Thank you, Art. Art keeping it up. Thank you, Art. Alan Paulson says, thanks for keeping it real, Tim Black. Love listening to your analysis. Well, thank you, my man Alan. Wolfpack. Sheldon Hughes, another Johnson. Thank you, Sheldon. Third Moon Botanica. Thank you, Johnson. Gratitude. Reciprocated, my friend. Trudy, as of 8/20, 25 people died in protests. One cop. Damn, as of 8/20, 25 people died in protests. One cop in various shades of red, blue, and black. 90% nonviolent. Don't let Republicans control the narrative. I agree with you, Trudy. And I had to catch myself because I want to be empathetic, but I don't want to be pathetic. You understand what I'm saying? So you get what I'm saying? So I walked that line because, but hey, you guys hopefully know where I'm coming from. Artificial Morphous Man. Corporate media poisons the masses. So now we have people storming the Capitol, and now the media spins it as Antifa. I like the fact that one of my callers, I want to say Sally, told us where to go to find out who these people are. So that was great. Roger Meadow says, don't understand why Fudge feels she must accept position. I know, right, Roger? After she typed that, and he's still looking at her for that position. It's like, oh, that's not what you want to do? Well, that's what I want you to do. That's something. Roger, Tim getting his Rubio on, showing us his water. Oh, I thought I meant to mute my phone, or mute my microphone. And I was coughing, I went to the back, and I thought you heard all of that. But yeah, I'm not advertising. Actually, Mrs. Black hates when I do this, and usually I would cut the sticker off the water because they ain't paying me to promote their asses. You feel me, Johnson? Now, Cool Streams does pay the channel if you actually buy. I'm not charging anything to advertise it. CoolStreamsTV.com is where you go if you want to cut your cord, but you still want to watch some stuff. And I want you to know I do have this service. And one of the things I use it for, news. With CoolStreamsTV.com, I can get news from all over the world. I'm telling you, I can watch local news in the cities where the news is breaking. So that's something I just noticed. I just discovered it. That it had all these news packages, even local news areas. So if something happens in Dallas, Texas, Dallas, Taylor, my friend, I can go turn into Dallas, Texas news and watch the local affiliate. So anyway, go to CoolStreamsTV.com, save some money. It's like $20, $25 a month. But save $10 using Tim Black as a code. Do it today. Limited time. Scott, we love you, Brother Tim. Bernie for Senate leader. Hey, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Hold on, I got some good calls, some good comments here, man. My people are showing up tonight. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, Scotty. We Curry Signs. Thank you, We Curry Signs. This thing moves so quickly. Music is life. If you're an ally of us, listen. Shout out to Black Media. What up? Music for Life. What's happening? Roger Meadows, Gary funny as hell. Trump took Beeline to watch TV. I'm telling you, man, it was a great call-in show tonight. Roger, killing me with the moral wounded. Oh, my God. Cap didn't stand. But that's sort of like inspired by Chappelle. That's why I hate watching those comedians, because I don't want to bite their stuff, but I'm up here just talking. So I hope it wasn't too much like Chappelle. Emoji. Smart Sister made my evening. Man, Smart Sister has a Facebook page where she does videos. Smart Sister does her own videos, y'all. Andre, Smart Sister, I wanted to slap her too. Can I call you Auntie? Andre, my brother. Give it up for Andre, one of my editors. Yes. Him and Kamali, the Radical Democracy, the channel. Ramona Lawson. Ramona, what's up, sis? What's up, sis? She says, the MAGA mob event proves that if you back the blue, they let you through and let you off easy. And yes, you get to go safely, go home. At least most of you. Only some lives matter in America. Robert Stewart contributed to the show. Thank you, Robert. William McGregor says, this morning in Honolulu, the founder of the Proud Boys returned from his D.C. holiday with a few others. They were greeted by federal agents who, I assume, were not feeling the aloha spirit. My brother. Hey, man, me and Mrs. Black would like to come to Hawaii. Can we get the hookup? DMV Black Lives, you already know, bro, as always. Salute. That's right, brother. What's up, DMV Black Lives? My friends, my family. Thanks for your support as always, my friend. You know this. You know how we do. LB Things, stuff and more. Sally Slade, 2 callers. I shouldn't laugh. I know. And look, man, every once in a while, I get surprised. And I always try to keep an open mind whenever somebody calls, you know what I'm saying? But every once in a while, I'm not ready for it, and bam, You people keep me rolling, man. I love this. I love what we do, and it's amazing. Okay, guys, look. What's the question? Look, go to TimBlackTV.com. If you're not a member, become a member. I'm sure you love this show. You might as well do it. Pull the trigger. It's $5 a month. Patreon.com, Tim Steak Live. Become official. To get all replays of all 4 shows, go to patreon.com, Tim Steak Live. To get all replays of all the shows in their entirety, forever. Go to patreon.com, Tim's Take Live. What else? That's enough, right? Another one in the books. All right, guys, look. Have a great weekend. I want everybody to be safe. Be safe. Don't let nobody take your cornbread. Those bastards do not deserve your cornbread. You understand what I'm saying? What else? Keep your cornbread. Keep hope alive. Don't go arguing with people. Don't go arguing with people. Don't try to convince them. A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. Keep it real, really real. So what you got to do is to give them something. Tell them one fact. Give them something and let them go look it up for themselves. You know? That way they can convince themselves. A person must be an active participant in their own awakening. You can't do it for them, even if you want it for them. That's not how it works. They have to want to go on this journey, you know what I'm saying? So just keep your head up, and if you've been trying to convince people and it's not working, it ain't you. It ain't you, Johnson. So keep that in mind. I had a lot of good people with those concerns. They're trying to talk to a loved one, trying to get them to wake up, and they're like, why? Because you can't. You ever try to tell an alcoholic he an alcoholic? Man, alcoholic? You know. What you talking about? You know. So what? I go to work. That guy over there, he don't go to work. I go to work. Yeah, but you lost 3 jobs this year. Yeah, I know, but I go. That's because these people got a pole stuck up their ass. That's why it ain't nothing to do with me. You know, I'm just saying. You can't convince people of something. They have to convince themselves. Your job is to give them the information or sprinkle some facts on them. That's all I got, guys. That's it. This show is brought to you by Cool Streams TV, CoolStreamsTV.com. That's all I got. Number love. Come check the channel out. There'll be clips I'll be putting up. Thanks to my editors. We'll put some clips up this weekend. I got number love for you, number respect. In solidarity, I'm your brother Tim Black, Real Tim Black on Facebook and Twitter, Tim Black at Night on Instagram. And we are done, Johnson. Wolfpack.
Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't be fooled by corporate media talking heads misleading the people. Get your news and information from an entity that keeps it real. Tim Black. Tim Black is the host of The Tim Black Show. Independent news that leaves you informed, inspired, and sometimes entertained, but always in the know. Go to TimBlackTV.com and sign up today. The Tim Black Show is news for people who can't stand the news. See you there.
Cool Streams TV, the best streaming service in the world. With over 2,000 channels. Watch it anywhere on your Android or iPhone. Watch it on your tablet or any Fire device. Premium channels, network channels, pay-per-view sports. Direct access to 24/7 customer service. Go to CoolStreamsTV.com and purchase your subscription. Cool Streams TV. We are the best in the business.
Someone said the commercials are loud as hell. Man, damn it. Why are they so damn loud? Something. When I say they, I mean the talking heads on cable news. Do they know you? Let me ask you something. Do they know us? When I say they, I mean the talking heads on cable news. Do they know you? I mean, they talk about the world as if it's a sport. They play political games, report on our pain, rack our brain to feed the stock exchange, but do they know us? Do they know what we care about? Nope. They're too far away. They can't see us. They can't feel us. They can't relate to us. See, when you want to know what's going on in your world, trust someone who lives in your world. Subscribe. When a caller said, I think a girl said it's going to be the crying apology tour now. They're going to be crying and apologizing because they're going to jail. Cry, cry, cry. You're right, Johnson. You're right. Wolfpack. Someone just said that Trump's going to refuse to leave office and have the military behind him. That's crazy, Johnson. That's crazy. Joe Manchin is a piece of shit.